Welcome everybody to the Science Center Escape. I am NJ Deuce, the creator of Deuce Escape Rooms, and today I'm going to be talking through a tutorial on how to escape from the Science Center. When you read through this, the main takeaway is that there are going to be 6 to 7 rooms that you'll have to escape from, with them being chemistry, astronomy, earth science, physics, biology, and anatomy. Now in each room there is a hidden diamond. So for this first room, it's just kind of an intro showing you everything. But if we look back here, our first diamond is going to be here. So if you skip over this, you're going to be hurt at the end. So when we go into our first room, enter here. This will be the chemistry room. So I've included a lot of red herrings into this room for you to look at. But the most important part is that you read the lab notes every time you walk into the room. I find it easiest just to kind of stand over it and read down on it like this. As such. Now the first thing that we're going to go to is our pH scale over here, because we've got a passcode we have to type in here, okay? Now the answer to the passcode is going to be milk, lemon, tomato, and soap. Milk, lemon, tomato, soap. So that's going to give us 6, 2, 4, 12. So 6, 2, 4, and 12. As you can see, the window covering the periodic table is gone. Now there's an expo here that we're going to need to grab, and to unlock this expo, it shows us kind of where we're going to be shooting at. We have to come here, and it's a 4-digit code. Now, this code is going to be related to these papers. On the top of the papers, it says Einstein, Tesla, Turing, and Oppenheimer. And you can see the numbers hidden in the elements there. The shape of them. So it's going to go Einstein, Tesla, Turing, and Oppenheimer. So we're going to end up getting a 4, 1, Turing is 3, and Oppenheimer's 2. So if we go in that order, it's going to be 4, 1, 3, 2. 4, 1, 3, 2. Now I've got a 10-second timer for it to reset. Now, what do we do with this crossbow? If you remember earlier reading the lab note, it's going to tell you to look at the notes and intervals. Every third entry is important. So we have to look over here. And if we look at every third entry, we notice a pattern. It starts with 9, 53, 75, 85. Now what that is that correlates to the number on the periodic table over here. And if we just happen to look at 9F, 53I, 75RE, 85 is at. So that is telling us to fire at something. Now when we go back and look over here and decode the rest of these, the first one is going to be fire at carbon. If we look at the periodic table, and you basically just have to look at all the elements, you're going to have to run back and forth to decode it. It helps to have a partner with this. So the first one says to fire at carbon. The second one, if you decode it, says to fire at a state. Now that could be Californium or Tennessee. So we fire there. Then the third one is fire at the continents. So we fire down here at Europe and America. Each one of those 4 shots will unlock the 4 doors here. If you only do one, it's only going to unlock one. We have to remember each room has a diamond. So make sure you get it. Now we're in the astronomy room. I went ahead and picked up the diamond there. That's where it's hidden. If you look around, there's a lot of puzzles. Now this symbol is what is important for us. This is kind of a difficult puzzle. But if we decode this using this over here, it decodes the first letter of each horoscope. So it ends up being CAT is the first one. We got Capricorn, Aries, and Taurus, CAT. Then we go Pisces, Aquarius, Leo, and then the S, Sagittarius. So cat and pals. What does that mean? When we go over here, we know cat is going to be Leo. Pals can be a little different, but it's going to be Gemini. So we got Leo and Gemini as our cat and our pals. Okay? Now, if we go back over here, Leo and Gemini, if we look at the month on there, it's going to be July and August, and May and June. So we have the 7th and 8th month paired with the 5th and 6th month. How does that relate over here? Because this ends up ultimately being a directional code, up, down, left, and right. So if we know that July and August are the 7th and 8th month, that's going to correlate with the solar system here, the 7th and 8th planet, Uranus, Neptune, and then the 5th and 6th are Jupiter and Saturn. So it goes down, left, up, right. That is going to be our code, down, left, up, and right. That will unlock the door to the Earth Science Room. Now, there's another lab note. He says he's hidden dinosaurs in the room. Again, a lot of posters here intentionally to kind of distract you. Some are important, some are not. This one will be. It's going to have colors on here. And what we do basically is you have to walk through the wall here, okay? And we get this recipe for dessert, and it shows us melting a Cliff Bar, sea salt, plain butter, glacier water. Now what's important, and if you remember that poster earlier on landmarks, we have a cliff, we have a sea, we have a plain, and we have glacier. The hard part is you have to think and kind of think outside the box here that dessert is going to be desert. So it's going to go, the code is going to be desert, cliff, sea, plain, and glacier. Okay? So if we look over here, we've got desert red, cliff red, sea blue, plain red, and glacier blue. So our code, if we go desert, cliff, sea, plain, glacier, is going to be red, red, blue, red, blue. So we go red, red, blue, red, blue. That takes us here. Now this is where the dinosaurs really become important. Remember he said there was a code and the color would be important. So this shows us basically that our fossils died in a certain way. The boa died by volcano, the dodo died by a blizzard, and the mammoth died by a flood. It asks us to remember how they moved, okay? How many legs they have is important. So the boa obviously has 0, the dodo has 2, and the mammoth has 4. What order do we put that in? Well, we go back to this first code where he said to look at the dinosaurs. Where are the dinosaurs? They're actually back in this hidden room. You have to pay attention. It goes green, purple, red. That's the color combination we're looking for. Now, how does that help us with the legs? Well, remember how they died? So if it goes green, purple, red, we know that one died by volcano, one died by snowstorm, one died by flood, and it just so happens to be in that exact order, green, purple, red. So we're going to go volcano, snowstorm, and flood. Volcano, snowstorm, flood. So volcano means the boa comes first, the snowstorm means the dodo comes second, and the flood means the woolly mammoth comes third. So if we look at the legs that each of them have, and because that's how they move, that's going to give us 0, 2, 4 is our code. So we have to remember 0, 2, 4. Don't forget we have to get the diamond from each level. Did I already grab this diamond? No, I did not. Although for some reason it's being very hard to pick up, which is not good. I don't like that. There we go. So 0, 2, 4 is our code. So we come back here. We just go 0, 2, 4. Yes. Now we're into the physics-based room. There's a lot of equations, a lot of posters here. The lab note summed up basically tells us to look for the purple hue, to look for the hidden purple letters around the room. We have a U hidden in this wave here. You see the purple U there. We have a C for the speed of light. We have an R on Ohm's law. We have a V for reflection and refraction. And then we have a hidden purple E here in Schrodinger, which is very hard to see. So we have a C, or a U, a C, an R, a V, and an E. If we jumble that up, that's going to give us curve. Once we rearrange it to spell out a word that will open this. Now we get this, and if you don't know science, that's okay, because this will be explained somewhere else in the room. Now what's actually hidden here is we have a hidden prop gun here. Now here's where our science comes in, and it shows you all the equations, what they're equal to. All of our equations in that order will basically give us a D, an E, a U, a C, and an E. That is just a little nod to the creator myself, which is going to give us deuce. Here's our diamond. Now we'll go back here to type in deuce. And that will get us to our next room. The biology and DNA room. Now we have a Punnett square. We have a DNA sequence here. And we have some letters here. Now the light makes it hard to see. It's kind of hidden. But what we have to do is transform into this plant to get over here. And what's important when you read this lab note, variants are important. So when we look at our Punnett square later, we'll have to remember that we're looking for a variant actually. So we come over here, find our diamond, and that same DNA sequence is here, and it shows us letter 1, letter 2, letter 3, letter 4, letter 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have to kind of go back here and find what letters are in that spot. You're just going to kind of have to go back and forth. Ultimately what this ends up being is B-O-T-T-O-M, so bottom, and it ends up spelling the word bottom right. When you look through here, it kind of, there's the B, there's the O, there's the 2 T's, so it's going to give us bottom right, which makes us think the wrinkled green pea. Well, we come over here and we look for the wrinkled green pea. It's going to give us 4 letters. That's going to be our code, but we have to remember we're looking for a variant, so the wrinkled green variant is going to be AGUC. We go over here, we do A-G-U-C. Boom, we are into the last and final room, which is basically anatomy in the human body. This one's not too hardly hidden. We have to get into this X-ray room to escape. So we have the X-ray entry code. How do we get in there? This one, there's a lot of stuff in here that's going to confuse you. But the important thing that we look at is actually these letters, these pictures. They're going to show us numbers. There's a 2, there's a 6, there's a 3, there's a 1, and hidden in the belly button right there is a 4. So we're going to get 2, 6, 3, 1, 4. 2, 6, 3, 1, 4. That will unlock the X-ray. Now, this is actually one of the easier puzzles of the room. It's going to be related to the broken bones, how many they have, and what time it happens. So we have 1 a.m., 11 a.m., 3 p.m., hitting a little lag there, and 7 p.m. So it's just going to go 2, 3, 1, 2. So 2, 3, 1, 2. That opens our last door to the escape pod, and what's important here is that we make sure that we have all of our diamonds, because if we don't, we're going to have to go back and find them. So make sure that you found one in every room, even the very first room. When we get here to the end, it's going to ask us for all of our diamonds, and that will help us escape. Thank you all for playing the room. Please follow on TikTok and Instagram. Follow my YouTube for more, and get notified when we release new rooms. I am NJ Deuce, and you have just finished Deuce Escape Room.